Welcome back, all my faithful followers. Sorry, just I don't know what the hell that was. What the hell is going on out here? My neighbor's landscaper got like 900 leaf blowers going. All right, anyway, today there is a little bit of a vert update. Collecting parts phase, taking stuff apart. It's getting cold. And we're gonna do some work to the Civic. I went and picked up the bumper and the bar that was bent up for it from Mike at Ratty Fab. Did a great job. And I bought a couple extra feet from him because it's gonna go from the traction bar out to this to support it. We're gonna start building that today, but let's do the convertible first because that's quick and easy. Nothing much going on there. I've been stripping apart the engine bay. The strut tower was starting to rot. It's rusted. It's not through. There's no soft spots. So as of right now, until I can have time to spend on it, I've just been covering it in penetrating oils and just letting it soak in. Will that probably be a nightmare when I try to paint? Probably, and I'll kick myself for doing this. But in the scheme of not trying to actually let it rot, because I checked it inside, outside, it's just rusted. If it sat outside this winter, it probably would have rotted through. So I'm gonna keep that saturated. As you can see, the brake booster's missing. I took that off. These brake lines seem to be good. This is for the rear and the passenger front. The driver front, not so much. It's gonna have to get replaced. It was completely frozen. But yeah, these all seem to be good. Oh, that one locks back up a little bit, a little tight. And we got the old booster here. I was gonna reuse this booster and put the 93 Cobra Master on it, but when I got it off and I'm looking in here, it's just not looking the best. So, like I said, it's for my wife. I'm not taking any chances. If that was for me, I would have probably cleaned it up and reused it. But since it's my wife and my kid, I care about them more than I care about myself. We went and picked up a new booster and a new master. And weirdly enough, let me put this here. All the local parts suppliers couldn't get a factory GT booster. It wasn't available from any of them. I could jump on Rock Auto and stuff like that and see them, but you know what was available? A 93 Cobra booster was available. And this thing's a tank. I wasn't gonna do it. This is a nice upgrade. I wasn't gonna do it just because of price, but my price on it wasn't expensive at all. And I got a 93 Cobra Master 2-port. This is the same master that I run on the green car. It's worked flawlessly for me. It's a 1-inch bore instead of the, don't quote me, 7/8 bore that's on the factory GT, and it's only a 2-port instead of 3-port. So doing the disc conversion, front and rear. I mean, I'm putting these big boys on the front, and I'm putting SN95 disc on the rear. We need the bigger bore and one inch. You know, if I have to, I might have to go up to the 94-95 Master, which is 1 1/16, but we're gonna do the 1-inch first and see where that takes us. If it's a problem, I can always take this off and it'll be a backup for my green car. So we got the Master, we got that, and I have the factory proportioning valve right here, which I ordered the kit. I got to do some cleaning up on this because it's filthy. the kit from Maximum Motorsports, where it puts a plug here, so you gut this, and this plug has a hole on it. I probably could have just welded it shut, but they got a nice plug for like 20 bucks. So I ordered that, and they have brake lines to convert this setup, this brake setup, to a 2 port instead of a 3. It was nice. It's a nice little kit. I think it ran me like 75 bucks for everything, and that's on the way now. Well, that is all figured out. I'm pretty excited for the Cobra booster, to be perfectly honest, because this is something that I wanted to do. I want this car to brake extremely well. I want this car to handle extremely well. I want to be able to take this thing and beat the crap out of it and not be scared. So let's see what... Does it say what size bore is on this thing? But no, let me show you the size difference between said two. Well, this is a factory 89 GT, and there's 93 Cobra. So it's a, you know, it's a pretty good size difference on it all. You know, it's not, it doesn't look like it's any longer, so getting it back in, it just looks wider. You know, the circumference is bigger. So I'm pretty stoked for all of that stuff. We're gonna do what the budget allows, and before you, oh, 4-piston Brembos. These Brembos that are for brands of cars are really cheap. I just saw today, which I saved it on my marketplace, someone selling the CTSV calipers front and rear for $400. So that, I might go and get that. But I got a little more work to do. I have to get the evap can out, smog can, whatever you want to call it. Get these little, you know, air deflectors off both sides. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or not. I might try. I might clean them up. I got to get this exhaust off the car. I got to get under the car and disconnect brake lines. Like, it's all loose up here. I'm going to give this a good cleaning and scuff the crap out of it. Because once this is painted, I can start assembling back everything in the engine bay. I'm probably going to get a couple Scott Rod panels in here, but I'm not going to weld them in and blend it. I'm just going to rivet them in. So what I'm going to get is I'm going to get them, rivet them in, take them out, or Cleco them in so all the holes are there, and then paint everything separately and then rivet it all back in. So I think I'm going to get the front ones and the upper firewall one. All right. That is the vert update. I'm pretty excited this brake stuff came in, and from what I can see, all the brake lines on the car, minus the driver front now, which I broke, seem to be good. I will have to change the rears when I go to disc in the rear, but not a concern right this minute. I'll probably just get on one of the standard Fox body supplier websites, LMR or something, and order up a brake line kit for it, so I don't have to make nothing, since it's all factory location stuff. You know, I'll order up like SN95 brakes or something. Yep. Alrighty. Done with that for the day. I've started wiring in the data panel, because that came in. This is my battery disconnect for this car. I got to start terminating to the battery and figure out how I want this. I don't quite know yet. You know, and I got to leave room here. It's going to be a mount for this front end. Well, that's semi-mounted. I got to make a spacer for back here. Anyway, let me get the bumper on here. Quick latches. They're nice to an extent, but they're a pain in the ass a lot of times. Alright, so the bumper's on. Right? Cool. Oh, we ended up going with 1.25 inches. He had it on the rack, so I didn't have to buy any. which, you know, when you can do stuff like that, it gets done quicker. He marked the center of the bar, so let's try to find the center of the bumper. Make this, because he left these long, the legs long on it, so I can cut them back. But what I didn't realize was this bumper was built incorrectly. It's flared. Another Jace composite quality. It's like flared out on this side, and it comes in on this side more. It's a freaking nightmare. This whole bumper is a freaking nightmare. There's a problem with the glass. So it's hitting the supports on the end, which I had a feeling it was going to. So I got to find the center of this. This is a pain in the ass. This bumper is like god awful atrocious. I'm trying to decide if I want to drop my thing down to the floor, or draw a line on the floor, and do this on jack stands without the bumper, because it's making it really, really difficult. And here's the problem I'm having, right? So the traction bar is pretty level. I mean, it ain't perfect. Hold on, why is this light on? It ain't perfect, right? But it's close. This bar, it's way off. And the problem I'm having is, let's try that again. Another dead battery. So, like I was saying, I got one nice and notched. All right. The problem is, sorry, this bar, you can see how unlevel it is, right? I might just be an idiot here, which is all a good possibility. If I raise this thing up to get it level, like, it's gonna be so crooked in this bumper. I don't know what is going on here. So it's level. Look how high up I am. Look how low it is. Like, I gotta do some measurements for this bumper, but like, holy shit. That's laying inside the bumper. You know, if I pull this back corner down, it gets a little better. You know, it's, no matter what, it's pretty terrible. You know, that right there is close, but the bar's on the bumper and it's off X amount over here. So this bumper is just such hot garbage. And I mean, you could see, I don't know if you can see it, but follow the contour of the bumper, you know, and then look at that side. It's just whoosh, whoosh. It's just not the same side to side. I don't know if I should just take the bumper off and build it without the bumper on, and like, I don't know, is the car tweaked? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I gotta sit here and think about, I don't know if this bumper's mounted right, but it's like, God, it's so shitty. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm pretty sure the bumper's just cockeyed. It's built so poorly. Oh God, you can see it really good now. Well, what I'm thinking about doing is taking the bumper off, building it level with the traction bars, and just having to, it's gonna fit where it's gonna fit. It's not gonna be, you know, but I'm above the traction bar now. I don't know. I'm gonna sit here and think about it for a little while. Okay, well, it ain't the best work I've done. Not the best welding I've done either, but you know, my notching skills are like, the notches were like 75% perfect. I mean, I'm using this dinosaur that I literally bought a decade ago from my Integra building days, and I probably haven't used it since. But the bar's in, it's welded. See, you can see it flexing down. That's why I want to run supports from here to here, just with a quick pin here. You know, I'll tab it, and it'll be a Heim joint on each side with a quick pin. So you take these 3 bolts out, pull the pin, 3 bolts, pull the pin, intercooler, radiator, everything. Well, and those 2 bolts go with it. Boom, 1 shot out. I gotta put the bumper on. I did the best I could to get this thing level as it could be and not be complete total diarrhea. It's off. Can't lie about it at all, but it's the bumper. You know, I was able to cock this thing as much as I could to get it, everything to fit, and there's really nothing I can do about it. It sucks, but when you got a shitty fiberglass manufacturer, that's what you end up with. So it actually fits pretty good. I have to put it on right now to that's not even clipped on, so it slides in nice. Put the bumper back on. This is gonna be fit and trial and everything, blah blah blah. And what eventually I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld a 1-inch tube from this bar to that bar with a tab to bolt to that on each side, and I'm probably going to make like a single bar down here just to stabilize it, as long as I have, I don't know if I'll have the space. I might just do a tab off this to the radiator, because the radiator is going to sit right here just to stabilize the 2 together. We'll see once the radiator's already shipped. It should be here soon. Starting to come around to me. That fit up, huh? Yeah, not bad. Not bad for an amateur. I got the other one too, but I'm gonna do one at a time and make sure everything's straight. I do not like stuff like this. It's all welded up. Now I can measure for my Heim rods, both sides. Those need to be tabbed, and I still have to tab for the intercooler. But you know, once I get, gonna fit perfectly like I wanted, both sides, it's gonna be nice. I'll be able to tab that all the way up to the front of the bumper, and it's gonna look good. So I'm done for the night. I've been on this thing 4 hours building this stupid thing. I'm not happy with a bunch of my welds, but once it's painted, you'll never know. Yeah, it's definitely supportive. In all reality, I could probably leave this without those support rods, but these freaking Hondas, stick shift Hondas, big turbos, they got a lot of wheel hop in them, and the last thing I want is everything held up by literally, you know, 4 welds. So I'll put those support rods on there, and that'll be more than enough. So we will get this wrapped up. I didn't really like these battery terminals, so Tony got me something a little different. Pick those up tomorrow. We'll finish wiring the power and the ground here. Make a couple engine grounds. I don't know where I'm gonna put them to make them look good yet, because I don't really see any, you know. Oh, what I just did notice. Good thing I just noticed that. You see that? Can you see it? Oh, let me get my flashlight. Man, it's a good thing I saw that. That would have been ugly if this thing flexed. You see that? The freaking mount is like sitting on the case. So we're gonna have to take some meat out of that mount right there. Well, you know, I'll figure out a ground and that. Something spilled on it. Figure out grounds on this thing, and then all I have to do is run another power wire from here I'm going to run up into the fender, and we're going to build a relay panel down here. Not that one, because you'll hit it with your feet. I'm probably going to build something up in here, way out of your way, so we can have a passenger, not worry about kicking anything. Yeah, so I'll get the intercooler mounted. That'll probably wrap this whole video up. Once it's all mounted and tabbed out and nice, then I could start figuring out what I need for intercooler piping. So this is going to be a 3.5 inch, which it wouldn't be too hard, but the angle that's on, but I don't think it's 45 degree. And I have another piece. This is what we got to put up there. Ross has a adapter to put a Van Jan style on there. So that's going to be fun to figure out. And I'm going to try to stay away from pie cuts because I absolutely despise them with a passion. I'm sure there'll be a couple in there, but I can start doing that. And supposedly the manifold is shipping today. Well, we got a tracking number, but UPS hasn't received the package. So, because it's literally every morning we're sending an email. Where's the tracking? Where's the tracking? And the laughability of this company, I won't mention any names, KLM Race, they're literally looking for a CNC guy to run more machines. And I'm like, how about you hire some goddamn welder so it doesn't take 3 months? Oh, every time I think about this manifold, it drives me crazy. So that, hopefully that's here, because once that's here, turbo's mounted, wastegate's mounted, and I could figure out all the, I could figure out a material list so we could order it in one shot from Ace Race Parts. All our stainless, because it's 60 mil wastegate, so I got to build an up pipe for that. I got to build an up pipe for the turbo. It's going to be 3 inch intercooler piping this side, 3.5 that side, and yeah, and then that's the simplicity of the turbo kit. And then obviously oil feed and drain, which I still have to take the pan off and weld the bung in, but I've been waiting to do that until I got the manifold, because I just don't, it's around an axle. Yeah, so we got this all fabbed up yesterday. I welded some tabs on it today for the intercooler. Those are drying down. I have the throttle body off right now because I have to start making a different bracket. This is a factory throttle cable bracket that I bent flat and drilled new holes, but it's too long. I'm gonna have to take like 2 inches out of this thing, or 1.5 inches out of this thing, because the problem we're having is no matter how much we adjust this cable, this cable, we can't get it to fully open or fully close, no matter where. So it's a Ross 90 millimeter. I just put the Vibrant Van Jan. They have a bolt-on piece, as you can see. It's actually a really nice throttle body. But here's a tip: no matter what, I just tack welded the back of the bolts for the blade. Always, 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 always tack weld them. I don't care about your Loctite. I don't care about any of that. It'll eventually work yourself loose and cause you a motor. Tack weld them. Done. Takes 5 seconds. So we're going to get this off. I'm going to cut it like here. The intercooler will get mounted. And I think we'll finish up with that. So let me get this apart because I got to take the wheel off. Yeah, I gotta take the adjuster wheel off because this is a poor design in my eyes. You can't get to them. If I had like the ball Allen keys, I probably could, but I just think that's a very poor design. So I gotta take this off to take that off. So I'm gonna go handle that. All right, I'm done with that throttle body nonsense. I take it off 3 or 4 times. We're getting really, really close with it. I think I need to cut a whole bunch off of it, like here. Because let's see if I can show you, the end of the throttle cable is really long, so I need to back this thing up away, if that makes any sense. It's driving me mad playing with it, so I'm done with that. Nice Vibrant Van Jan on here. That's gonna be a lot of fun to make this tube. I don't know if a tight radius is gonna get this done, because it's 3.5 inch. This might have to be pie cut, which this will be a tight radius fit, and then probably one, what's it, 9-degree pie cut, just to kick that thing more straight. But I gotta watch out for the water pump. So that's gonna take some playing with. This one shouldn't be too terrible. It's gonna come up like this, come over, and then somewhere, oh, I'm sorry. It's gonna be somewhere in this vicinity. Because the turbo, the cover's facing this way. So it's gonna come out. You know, we'll figure this out. I had him get me a scatter shield before I even make intercooler piping, because I don't know where that's going to land, and I don't want to build a pipe and have that in the way. I finished up the charging. This is the alternator wire, main power, out to the starter. I got one ground in there so far, off to the body there. I'm going to do one more on the transmission to the frame, and I'm going to do another one from the motor to the battery. Boy. Motor to the battery. This ground for the chassis is done. That one's all set. Now, I just like getting, I'm going to wire it the same way I wired my car, and it works perfectly. Well, that's all nice and mounted up. Now the manifold will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to mount the turbo. I'm going to mount the wastegate onto the manifold. We're going to get the manifold mounted into the car. I can get the oil feed line on. I can start figuring out where the drain is going to be, because I got to go down underneath that half shaft and into the pan. So once that gets figured out, and the sandwich plate here, here, I don't know if I'm gonna have to rotate this for the oil feed or not. We'll get it there. The fuel cell and the catch can for my buddy Jason at FCS is on the way. It's got a nice big catch can right here and a rear mounted 6-gallon underneath. Once the cell's mounted, I can start figuring out what we're gonna need plumbing wise. You know, I got to start making a list of fittings. Plumbing a car starts at backing cheaper, easy. And there's a lot of fittings, because like we got the radiator that's going to be -16s. The whole fuel system is -10 from the pump. The pump is -12, -8 return. We got to tee in the little AEM for street driving. So it's going to be hectic. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So let me do that, but get in the garage, grab a cold drink, get to work on your hot rod, guys. Have a good night.